And the most important things in life are actually not, you can't pay for it. You know, your health, happiness, love, you really truly cannot pay for those things.
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we are back with another American reaction.
Yes.
Super excited about this video. You guys have been wanting to know about our culture that we have in America. Y'all have been wanting to know specifically the Demouchets culture.
Yeah.
But this culture that we are going to be telling y'all about, we feel that it is very, very, very important for you guys to know about it. It is the Gullah Geechee.
The Gullah Geechee.
We are not a part of this nation, but I learned about this nation when I was in high school, so that was a long time ago.
Yeah, their background, their distinctiveness, everything about them is just mad unique, and I think it's going to be a lot of people that can relate and to be informed about how they handle themselves, you know, the conduct of them. It's dope.
Yes, so the Gullah Geechee, they are along the islands. They are along the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida. So they are the sea islands, right? And this nation is very unique because they have preserved our African heritage. So the nation was created by the last enslaved people.
Yeah.
You know, from Africa. So I have always been fascinated about it. I do not know everything about it. Have not had the chance to travel to visit, but it is on my list, guys. Again, the United States is a big place. So we have not traveled to all 50 states, but it's on our list of where we would like to travel.
True.
So yeah. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell because we're on the road to 100K. And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Hi Westport, I'm Darling Hill, and I'm here with the queen of the Gullah Geechee Nation.
How wanted to do today?
I will be interviewing her about her people and what she does around America
Hold on.
and the world. So first up,
I don't think she understood her.
Yeah, probably not.
Because she kind of like went right past that comment.
Yeah, she asked her how
are you doing today?
Yeah, how are you doing today? So you guys can hear, I'm pretty sure, I think the language Pidgin or something like that. From Africa. So I'm sure that you guys, our African supporters, y'all could understand what she was saying. And we kind of can hear it a little bit. And I think we can hear it a little bit because of the vernacular language, English that
it's kind of passed down like down here in the South. Like we talk like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So how she said it, we would probably hit it like the same way because our words are like, I've been told this a long time ago too, that like when I speak, my words sound all close together.
Like, jumbled.
And then we end up hitting that share behind it. So we give it a little more seasoning, you feel me? So
and when we're doing the intro, sometimes when I'm really tired, you guys can hear me, like my words start to get jumbled together. So we understood her.
My grandfather, man.
But I don't think she did.
You know what I'm saying? When he would speak, his words would get real jumbled like that. So
like, wait, hold up, what you say?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Where does the Gullah Geechee Nation actually originate from?
The Gullah Geechee Nation's people originate in Africa as well as North America because we have African ancestors and indigenous ancestors. But here, our boundaries of the Gullah Geechee Nation are from Jacksonville, North Carolina to Jacksonville, Florida. So it takes up all of the sea islands that are literally in the Atlantic Ocean and then 30 to 35 miles onto the mainland to the St. Johns River. So 100 children, yet the people that crack a teeth like Anisha, most likely that's a Gullah Geechee person you hear speaking.
Do you have a native language?
Yes, our native language is Gullah, and a pidgin
Gullah.
or dialect of that language is Geechee.
Would you mind saying?
So that's interesting that, you know, their language is called Gullah. It's kind of like gutter. Like, you know how we are, like, when we talk, it's like a gutter type of...
Yeah. I remember
framework of our
hearing,
words.
not hearing. I remember researching why it's called Gullah Geechee. I don't remember exactly what it was about. But when we were younger, there was this show, a show called Gullah Island.
Yeah, Gullah Island, yeah.
And I don't remember if they was, I don't remember where they were from, but it was a nice show. If you have children, look up the Gullah Island. You won't regret it.
Do you mind saying a few words for us?
Well, ain't Hannah didn't get you to correct the teeth just now? Didn't like that? See, and I didn't correct my teeth, Hannah can't correct your teeth back. So, as I just told her, you know, I spoke, you didn't speak back to me.
No.
You can't speak my language. No, didn't you just hear me speak it? No, yes.
I heard you.
She don't know.
The
Yes.
sass too comes with it.
All right, with Queen Quet.
It goes with some sassiness too now. It
She
is not
checked her.
right. Basically.
Okay, so if you guys don't know, if you didn't get it at the beginning, this is Queen Quet. Queen Quet is the chiefess of the Gullah Geechee Nation. So she is like the president of the Gullah Geechee Nation, and yes, they are protected.
Where
Within the United States.
You can't let that go over people's head though.
Right.
You say the president.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yes.
She, the president.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yes, they are protected. They it is acknowledged
Facts.
in the United States.
Yeah.
Have you confused now?
Yes, ma'am. What was it like growing up?
It's very rural. Where I grew up, St. Helena Island is a rural place, so we always thought, well, wow, you know, how come other people have certain things that we don't have? But as you grow older, you go, well, we're glad we don't have what they have where they are. And then you had nothing but family and friends around, and everybody knows everybody. And so if you're up to something, everybody knows, you know. So it also was like that, but it was a very peaceful place, and people help one another out. So I love it there. Still there.
So it's like one big happy family.
Y'all heard that, huh?
It's one big family. I don't know if they're always happy. You know how families can get sometimes.
Come on,
but
man.
definitely it's a loving family, because no matter what, they always tend to come back around and help each other.
What?
You know, I love this interview so far because how authentic and free she is. You can tell she come from a place where she can
Yes.
speak her mind. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? And be heard. So that just goes to, it speaks of her character.
Yeah, they didn't choose her for nothing.
Right.
Queen Quet,
Queen
okay?
Quet.
Your ancestry and your heritage taught you.
My ancestry and heritage has taught me a major thing, that man is going to take on where money can't. And so my elders always told us that, because there's so many people in this world today that are money driven, but money doesn't get you everything. And the most important things in life are actually not, you can't pay for it. You know, your health, happiness, love, you really truly cannot pay for those things. And so my heritage and my culture being so communal has taught me that. So I value a lot of things that I see people, a lot of other places tend to take for granted. And so I think that's made a big difference in my life.
How did you become Queen Mother of your nation?
That was a
I was
bar.
actually elected. It was a one-year election that took place from 1999 all the way to the year 2000. And on July 2nd, 2000, I was actually installed as a Queen Mother and elected as a head of state. So I'm a head of state like other heads of state of the world, but I'm also a spiritual leader and Queen Mother of my community as well.
Very interesting. What is your role as the Queen Mother and head of state of Gullah Geechee Nation?
As the head of state for the Gullah Geechee Nation, I have to be involved in a lot of political things. So I do go to the United Nations. I also go to Washington, D.C., do negotiations on behalf of my people with the U.S. I have other heads of state that come and visit me, and we do a lot of global interactions that way. But as a Queen Mother, it's more spiritual leadership and guidance and wisdom for the community so that we can protect our human rights for the future.
And you mentioned you went to Washington, D.C., so I assume you met President Barack Obama?
Interestingly enough, I received the National Jefferson Award the year before he became President Obama.
Wow.
So I met him prior to him becoming President Obama, and I've been invited back to the White House twice since he's been President Obama to different conferences dealing with conservation and also preservation of lands. And so it has been wonderful seeing this journey and seeing just how your paths can intersect in life where you think they're parallel. And
See?
they intersect.
Ooh, that was
So
a
what
bar.
was it like knowing that we have our first African-American president?
Well, it's kind of interesting because I guess I had mixed feelings because I didn't think the U.S. was really so ready. so to speak, to be as diverse as they claim that they want to be. And unfortunately, I've seen them act now like they really aren't ready to. And also being a historian, I kind of questioned it, whether it was the first, because there was a historian, J.A. Rogers, that actually said that there had been 5 other presidents that were
I've
people
heard
of
that before.
African descent. They just didn't look like it, and they didn't claim it outwardly, but that there had been a...
Okay, so that's another thing, especially in Louisiana culture. We had this thing called Passe Blanc, where people passed. And you know what? Looking back in history, knowing the history of this nation, you kind of can't blame them, you know? But at the same time, be real with yourself. So, anyway, what I love about the Gullah Geechee Nation is that I can't really say this 100% true, but they do, like, the government do look at this nation as the indigenous. Like with the certain protections,
Gotcha,
especially about their land. So, like, they really take care of their land that they're on.
presidents. So I've still always had that in the back of my mind whenever everyone says, this is the first one. I'm like, but is he? Maybe not, you know. But I'm glad to know that in this time, people have witnessed what was such a historic and monumental event, because this is the first one that actually said he's the first black president. So it's a wonderful thing.
That's very interesting. You mentioned that you represented your nation at the United Nations. So what did you do there?
At the United Nations, initially, I went there to make a speech and a plea, what they call an intervention at the United Nations, on behalf of Gullah Geechees to have the human rights protected. Because from chattel enslavement up to the point of 1999 when I went there, we'd had numerous human rights violations. And so that helped us to put a global focus on even the existence of Gullah Geechees. And since then, I've continued my work at the United Nations because I've learned a lot of human rights law, and I'm now a representative for the International Human Rights Association for American Minorities, which is IRAM. I've also served on the directorate of the Human Rights Council. And so that this way we help to educate people around the world about minority rights, human rights, and then just equal rights for all people.
Very, very interesting. You had mentioned that you received the Living Legend Award from ASLA?
Asala.
ASALA. And what does ASALA stand for, and why were you given that award? ASALA
is the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. It originally was the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, founded by Dr. Carter G. Woodson, who founded Black History Month. And they decided they wanted to honor 20 women that were living legends. So they gave out the inaugural Living Legacy Award last year in Washington, D.C. And I was truly honored to not only be a recipient of this first award from them for women and for being living legacy, but there were also 2 other Gullah Geechees that were presented with the award. Mary Moultrie of Charleston, who led the hospital workers' strike during the civil rights movement, and this year we're celebrating civil rights in America, so I can't leave her out. And then also, interestingly enough, my cousin, Dr. Najma Thomas, also received the award. So we were like, well, the Gullah Geechees have ran the slate today, you know, so it was truly an honor to receive that, especially from such a prestigious organization.
And what is the legacy that you would like to leave with African Americans or even Americans as a whole?
Well, with Americans as a whole, if you're going to say that you're a melting pot, I don't think you truly celebrate then saying diversity. I think if you're more of a salad bowl, then you celebrate diversity, because you can appreciate everything in that salad has to offer and all the richness each part of it has. And I think until America comes to that point, there's still going to always be a lot of issues that we need to get resolved. And so for people of African descent in America, I would say the only way you can play a part in resolving those issues is to truly learn who you are. As we would say in the Gullah Geechee Nation, know who hunter to be. And so know that God has made you uniquely who you are, and celebrate your culture and celebrate your legacy and your history, and make some new positive history too.
Ooh. Definitely, diversity is key.
Yeah.
And what percentage of Americans, if you could tell me, are descended from your nation?
It's interesting because we don't have a definitive number of how many people in America descended from our nation, but we do know that Sullivan's Island, that I mentioned in my presentation today, is where over 40% of all Africans enslaved in North America came through. So anybody who considers themselves African American, you probably have an ancestor that actually came to and through the Gullah Geechee Nation before they migrated to elsewhere. So the Gullah Geechee Nation is really the roots of African American culture.
So I could be Gullah Geechee.
Yeah, but then they get there and can't understand on own family. You won't know how to even talk to your own family. See, that's it. We gotta teach you.
One last question. I asked you for an autograph, and when I did, you mentioned that you only wrote with your purple pen. Why is that?
I write with my purple pen because purple is my official color. So I either wear purple, gold, or I wear indigo and white. So you see I have on indigo and white. So those are my official colors as Queen Quet. And so that's why whenever I autograph something, it's autographed in purple. So if somebody goes on eBay and buys something and they say it's a Queen Quet autograph and it's another color, no, it's not me. It's fake. So definitely I always do that so people have the original. But also, of course, purple represents royalty as well.
I knew it.
And so that's something that I feel is really an honor to be able to emboss something, because I think it's an honor to me for somebody to even want my autograph in the first place, because I'm just doing what God has allowed me to be able to do.
Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, this is
Thank
such a
you.
blessing. All right.
I'm Darling Hill. Thank you for watching.
Peace and
What you guys think? I think that was a good interview.
That was,
a
real
really
good
bomb interview.
You can tell that was a young reporter, but this was like an 8-year-old video, so I'm pretty sure like she is very, maybe prominent in her field now.
Yes.
But this was a good video. I think this is a good introduction from us to you of the Gullah Geechee Nation. You have anything to say, babe?
Y'all know I could pour it all out right now, man. Like one thing she mentioned about identity, in order to tap back into who you are and to your roots and your culture, you feel me? And I feel like identity is always going to play a big key. Learn as you're young, so when you get older, you don't have to be in a position to be unlearning just to relearn certain things, which I feel we are kind of in that light right now. But you still got time to learn and still find out who you are. You know what I'm saying? There's so much more.
Yes. One thing I do want to point out is that, the first video we showed you guys of our culture was about African American vernacular English, and you guys wanted more from us about our cultures. I think Queen Quet was a perfect example of what we talk about when we say that when we're in different settings, how we know how to speak correctly.
Yeah, we talked about that.
A regular person who don't know who Queen Quet was, they would probably say like, "What is she talking about? Why is she talking like that?"
Right.
That ghetto English.
I think that's when I was mentioning earlier about how she sounds free, transparent, and she's herself.
Right, but. What I do love about the Gullah Geechee Nation is that they have been able to preserve so much more of their history than the average black person in America, because the ancestors created that, and their children preserved it and grew up on the island, and more generation after generation after generation. Slavery was only 3-4 generations ago. Okay?
Yeah.
So hearing her speak, it's so well preserved to where it sounds like Africa. You know what I'm saying? And I love how she's able to just switch it up.
Yeah.
Just switch it up, like go from speaking proper air quotes to the Gullah dialect. You know what I'm saying? So we hope you guys enjoyed this video with us.
Facts.
More of our culture is on the way. It's going to be here, there, there.
Yes, you got to be on the lookout, though.
Yes, so like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks. If you'd like to support the channel that way, as well as our join feature to become a VIP member of the channel, send in your reaction requests through the description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.